It's Sonia again, take two of, or part two of our crate training video. I was talking about the morning puppy schedule. So you have a 7 a.m. wake time, you take the puppy potty, the puppy eats in their crate, the puppy goes back out to potty, you have some free play time, and then 10 to 20 minutes of training time. At 10 a.m., and this is just here and what we suggest for our puppy clients. And I will say that for the first 3 days of taking your new puppy home, you should adhere to this schedule as best you can, and then integrate the puppy into your life. The transition will just be easier for you. At 10 o'clock, we take the puppies out to potty, and then we put them in the crate for nap time. And we repeat the same thing over, that being at noon, after the puppy's had a 2-hour nap. You will wake the puppy, take the puppy potty, and feed the puppy. We're feeding puppies 3 times a day until they're 4 to 5 months of age. You will, at noon, wake the puppy, take the puppy potty, feed the puppy, and take the puppy potty again. And then you will have your free play time and your training time. Your free play time at this time, at any time, your 7 a.m., your 10 a.m., your 7, noon, and 3 o'clock times can all have free play time, which includes a walk or playing outside, depending on the weather. So we are very much... we're very strict with our nap times in the crate. As you can see, the puppies need it. She's gone right to sleep. And once asleep, it's about 2 hours that they need. If you let them fall asleep wherever they are, they don't get solid sleep, and it makes for grumpy puppies who are overstimulated. And surprisingly enough, they don't sleep well at night. They're up constantly at night. If they get overstimulated during the day and don't have proper sleep during the day, we find that puppies do not, their crate training at night is delayed. So at noon, you've woken your puppy up, you've done the same thing, they're having lunch, you're having free play time and a short training time, and then between 2 and 3 p.m., your puppy needs to go out to potty. Now, you're going to be taking your puppy potty more often than what I'm mentioning here because you're hyper-scheduling. That helps with housebreaking and crate training because you're recognizing patterns. You will take the puppy out to potty and put them back in their crate. You saw the setup. We have a towel underneath the crate and a towel that can go over the crate. The towel underneath the crate I did not mention is in case your puppy has an accident in the crate. You don't want your puppy stepping out of a wet or dirty crate onto your expensive wool rug or your nice carpet. It's just messy. So, because that will happen sometimes. They just can't help it. The wake time or the nap time at between 2 and 3, you'll put them down between 2 and 3, and they'll sleep 2 or 3 hours at that one. Just kind of keep an eye on your dinner time. We have dinner time here for puppies between 5 and 6 p.m. And it's the same exact routine as 7 o'clock and noon. You take the puppy out to potty, you feed the puppy in their crate, you take the puppy back out to potty, then you have free play time, maybe a walk, maybe playing outside, maybe playing on the leash or in their playpen while you're fixing dinner or finishing up work, if you work from home, whatever you do in the afternoon. And then you have a brief training time that you can fit in there. At 7 p.m. in the evening, we take the water up. Now, sometimes we're finding if the puppy's gotten up at 5 o'clock that they need a short 30-minute nap. Sometimes that's ideal to do during the family meal. However, we like to integrate puppies into the family meal time as soon as possible. And that means the puppy is on their leash that they're dragging around, and someone is tasked with standing on that leash or just putting your foot on it. You can even put it on one of the legs of the table or under the leg of the chair so that the puppy is there during mealtime, and you guys can have a family meal. The puppy learns to be quiet. Maybe you've got a bone that they can chew on, a toy that they can have. Maybe you're working on place training during this, although that means that somebody's going to be up and down quite a bit during the meal. But we say integrate your puppy into a family meal as early as possible and with the least amount of stress possible. All right, so now here comes the important part. 7 o'clock, we take their water up. That's Eastern time-ish. Puppies playing, having a good time with the family. Maybe they need that nap. Always take your puppy potty before you put them in the crate, though. But at 10 o'clock here, we take the puppy's potty, put them directly into the crate, and we do our evening bedtime routine for us. I check on the children, I wash my face, brush my teeth, read my Bible, turn the lights out, walk the dogs one more time, and that's usually a 15 or 20 minute routine. I take the puppy's potty one more time right before I turn my lights out and put myself in bed, and that is the signal to the puppies. I'm emptying my bladder for the last time this evening. Now, don't wake your puppy up to take them potty in the middle of the night. When we send puppies home between the 10 and 12 week mark, they're usually waking up once in the night. If they've had a nice, structured, scheduled day with enough adequate nap time and sleep, we find that they're waking up once between 2 and 4 a.m. I'm all business about that. I am opening they're fussing. I've got them in the crate right next to my bed on a towel with a towel over the crate so I can hear them right away. And again, expect this. Every time you put your puppy in the crate, they're going to fuss for 5 to 15 minutes. It's just, and you will see that diminish over time. Like we have with little Maisie here. It took about 3 days, and she maybe fusses for a couple minutes now, and that will even diminish as we get closer to the time for her family to pick her up. And we do offer that in some of our fee-based training that is extra for people who, they cannot have their sleep interrupted. They have a busy schedule that would prohibit them from successfully crate training a puppy, but they still want to own a dog from puppyhood. So we offer crate training. That's usually through about 16 to 20 weeks, depending on which option people choose. But at any rate, your puppies got the potential to wake up between 2 and 4 o'clock in the morning. And when they wake up, I am all business. I'm not turning any lights on. I pick them up and I take them directly to the bell, and I'll show you the bell here in a minute. Take them directly to the bell, gently bounce the bell against their nose. I'm doing this every time I take them potty anyway, but this is our middle of the night potty call. I take them directly to the place where they need to go potty. Encourage them with the same word every time. We say, hurry up and potty, hurry up potty, here. I put them directly back into the crate, and I anticipate that 5 to 15 minutes of fussy fit pitching, that will diminish as the days stack up. Usually you're done with that within the first week of our puppies going home. And then it's still lights out. You just have to go potty. I'm not playing with you. Now, some puppies decide it's time to get up. That will pass quickly, and you'll find that they'll stretch usually over the next 2 to 4 weeks. They will stretch that 2 to 4 a.m. wake time. It'll get closer to 5 o'clock, closer to 6 o'clock. So it will stretch into your 7 a.m. start of the day. By then, you have integrated the puppy into your life and what time you wake up every day. And we've got clients that wake up at 4 a.m. We've got clients that wake up at 6. Some are night owls and they're not getting up till 8 or 9. The puppy needs to integrate fully into your lifestyle. But like I said, those first 3 days, you should follow our puppy schedule. So, a couple of things to discuss about puppies, bladder training, which is essentially crate training and housebreaking. There's several books that cover these details very well that I recommend. But what you should know first and foremost is that your puppies can't hold their bladder for a long time at this age. And you can figure 1 hour for every month old that they are. So if we're sending home a 10 to 12 week old puppy, that is, a 4-month-old puppy. 3-month-old puppy can hold it 3 hours. A 4-month-old puppy can hold it for 4 hours. Now, if you're limiting their water at night, and just think about it, and we don't put water in the crate. I'll talk about that, what goes in the crate here in a minute. I'm not waking up in the middle of the night to drink water, so the puppy doesn't need water overnight. We take the water up at 7, and that's very beneficial. You'll know when your puppy can have water in their crate. You'll know when you can stop worrying about the 7 p.m. Taking their water up. Now, if you're consistent, meaning you use the same door, you go to the same spot, and you use the same commands, you should have a crate trained and a housebroken puppy within about 14 days. Those things that I talked about earlier, which are us not paying attention to them, can inhibit that. We're going through that right now with our son's Belgian Malinois. She's 4 months old and she's having accidents, and it's because we're not paying attention. We highly suggest using a bell on the door. I'll go ahead and walk over and show you this real quick. A little tour of my house in the background there, my little farmhouse. All right, so here is the bell that we use on our door. It just hangs down, and you can see I have a designer one, nice leopard print. Ooh, pretty. Anyway, and it's nice nose length, just depending on the size of your dog. They can bump that with their nose, and out the door you go. So we suggest that. They're used to using that here. They're not trained to it by any means, but they've been introduced to it, so they're starting to get the concept, and they usually pick that up in about 3 days. The first sign that excuse me, the first sign that they have picked that up will be that they ring the bell just to go outside. They don't have anything to do. They just suddenly realized, oh, if I ring the bell, I get to go outside. So that's kind of funny, and then it'll be a little annoying, but they soon realize, oh, I ring this to go out to potty. Very quickly realize that. I like it because I can hear that bell anywhere in the house, and instead of the dog scratching at the door or barking or going someplace secretive to have their accident, and they will do that. They'll find the spot that they prefer to go and have an accident, and that's usually the spot behind a chair in a room that you don't frequent because it's quiet, private. They want some privacy, kind of funny. You'll want to clean those accidents up with something called Nature's Miracle. Same for accidents inside the crate. It comes in a spray bottle, comes in a gallon jug, and if you have a dog, puppy that's going back to the same spot and you're not using that, the ammonia, it acts as an attractant, so they'll keep going back to the same spot. So using that every single time you have an accident will be very, very important. I've talked a lot about the schedule. The schedule is very, very important for housebreaking. I've talked about hyperscheduling. Hyperscheduling means that you're taking your puppy out to potty more often than they probably have to go potty, to establish a routine. Now, one of the things that I'll talk to you about now is what to do when you find out that your puppy is having attention deficit disorder. Now I'll explain what I mean. You've got a puppy several weeks old, suddenly, or maybe right out of the gate, you take them outside, and for 10 or 15 minutes, they're sniffing every leaf and every blade of grass, and you got to go someplace. You got to go to work. You've got to get the kids to school. You've got an appointment. You've got to go. And you have waited and waited for this puppy to go, and you know they have to, so you think erroneously, oh, they don't have to go. Scoop the puppy up and in the house, and 2 seconds later, they have pottied in the house. And you were just outside. So you call me and you say, the puppy is confused about outdoor and indoor pottying. And I calmly tell you, no, they just have attention deficit disorder. Remember, this breed of dog is a scent dog. They smell everything. They've got this big old nose, and I think something I read somewhere says that the average breed of dog can smell something, or their nose is 60 times more sensitive than ours. Well, I've read that the Lagotto is 80 times more sensitive, their nose is. So the world is their oyster outside, and they smell everything. Well, you don't got time for that. So if you find that your puppy is having a bit of confusion, where you get on that cycle of they're pottying indoors instead of outdoors because they're spending too much time smelling everything outdoors, one thing we suggest, you've already used some of the litter and sprinkled that in their potty area outside. It's biodegradable, so it's perfectly fine to use out there. What you'll want to do, your puppy's had an accident. Okay, so you set a timer to take them out to potty in 20 minutes, 30 minutes tops. If they do not go potty, you pop them in the crate for 3 to 5 minutes. Then take them back out to potty. And remember, every time that you're taking your puppy out to potty, you are wherever they're at. If they're in the crate or if they're standing someplace, you want to pick your puppy up to carry them, because inevitably from the crate or the floor, wherever they decide, oh, I have to go potty, they'll have an accident between there and the door. So, and you'll know when it's time, it's not necessary to carry them anymore. When you have consistent, I can't get the angle right on this, when you have consistent crate training, meaning they have not had an accident in a very long time, when they are ringing the bell consistently, then you just don't need to carry them out the door anymore, or from the crate to the door. But anyway, back to what I was talking about. You are putting your puppy in the crate for 3 to 5 minutes. You are taking them back out to potty. And if they don't potty, you put them back in the crate for another 3 to 5 minutes. What this does is breaks the cycle, and it reestablishes the I need to potty outside routine. I hope that makes sense, and if you have questions about that, of course, you'll be in touch with me. So, some other crate training and housebreaking notes. It is imperative that you not leave your puppy outside unattended at all. First of all, I wouldn't want him to get stolen. I wouldn't want a predator to, I wouldn't want you to have a predator issue. Even in a fenced yard, if you leave your puppy out for long periods of time, they'll develop bad habits. First of all, digging, barking, chewing on your siding, not to mention running away or potentially getting hit by a car out of boredom. But they will develop the propensity of pottying anywhere they want to. So leaving your puppy outside unattended for long periods of time is not advisable. Other tips, your puppy is better off in their crate or in their exercise pen during this transition time if you have to be away for any length of time, so they don't develop a habit of peeing anywhere in your house if you can't watch them. So what I'm saying is, if you have to take a phone call, tell the person who's calling, let me put my puppy up real quick so I can pay attention. Pop your puppy in the crate and talk to them on the phone, or put them in the exercise pen. Cooking a meal, working on the computer, helping your children, bath time for your children, put the puppy in their crate or in their exercise pen. Otherwise, you have what's called passive training happening, whereby puppies are potentially positively reinforcing negative behaviors. So those are a couple of things that I like to mention. Wanted to show you one other thing. This is it's a little cheap, one of those disposable Tupperware containers. Very small, kind of fits in my hand, has a locking lid that screws on, and I have a couple of bolts, a couple of nails, some things that make rattle noise. And I use this during crate training when I have a puppy that I know they have been out to potty. They have done number 1 and number 2. They have been fed. They have been loved, walked, petted, played with. And they are just in the habit of pitching a fit that lasts longer than 10 or 15 minutes. I'll use this to throw at the crate. I don't say anything. I don't talk to them because sometimes that's positively reinforcing the negative behavior. I will throw this at the crate and it will disrupt that. They get in the zone, the barking zone. It'll disrupt that. The other thing you can do is called the earthquake, and let me demonstrate that real quick. So you've got a puppy that's pitching a fit. Let's pretend there's no puppy in here. You can pick this up, give it a shake, and the puppy quickly realizes, oh goodness, every time I pitch a fit, the ground starts to shake. And they'll settle down and stop that madness, usually pretty quickly. So a couple other things. I'll show you what we have in our puppy crates. Here's your dish. And nothing else. People ask all the time, oh, isn't the bottom of the crate hard? Well, it's plastic. It's not hard like cement, but they prefer nice, cool floors. I've never found a dog that wanted to lay on much bedding, especially in their crate. They just get too hot. So they'll dig on it. They will pee on it. And that's the biggest thing that I want you to avoid, is having some issues with crate training because you've put bedding in the crate. The puppy will soil it, and then you'll have some regression in crate training. So I hope that has answered some questions about crate training. I hope you have a great time crate training your puppies, and if you have any questions, you can email us 2x2lagoto@comcast.net. That's TWOBY TWOLAGOTTO at Comcast.net. Check out our website at the same 2x2.com, and you can like us on Facebook. Also, please be sure to like our YouTube channel, share this a lot. We hope it helps you. Thanks. Bye.